Welcome back to the show. Well, it's the perennial question, is it okay to smack your kids? An Air Force pilot's conviction for assault after he smacked his son has been overturned. The Supreme Court in Adelaide ruling that causing pain while disciplining a child does not make a parent a criminal. It's time now for the Mixed Grill with our own Peter Stefanovic and shell-shocked media journalist Shelly Horton. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Shelley, to you first. To smack or not to smack?
Smack, smack, smack. I mean, I was smacked when I was young, and you know the thing? Every single time I deserved it. So it wasn't abuse, it wasn't a criminal act, it was keeping me in line. And the only impact that's had on my life is, oh my goodness, I have respect for my elders.
The thing is, though, Pete, I mean, there are parents who do it purely as discipline, and then there are parents who lose control.
Yes, we had a chat to Ben Fordham a couple of hours ago, and he sort of made the point there is, as he sort of alluded to there's a difference between discipline and there's a difference between abuse, right? So I'm for it, I agree with you there.
Yep.
I was smacked as a kid only a couple of times. It was enough to get the point. It got to the point where all my dad had to do to me was give me a look, right?
Yep.
It was in his eyes, like that, and I knew, okay.
That was enough. Back away.
You know, because you got to know, you know, if you don't
boundaries.
smack, if you don't smack, and sometimes words just aren't enough, especially on someone who's really young.
Yep.
They need to know that there's a line there, and if you cross that line, then you're going to get stung a little bit.
Yeah,
I
so
also think that parents can be too soft these days with the naughty corner and reasoning. You're not there to be the kid's best friend, you're there to be a parent and teach them. You can be best friends when they're adults or when they've finished uni.
But you can also, well, in my experience, we've got 3 kids. I never smacked the kids. There were times when
Peter?
the boys were about 15. I would have liked to have smacked them if they were too big. But Peter did once, and that was with our second son, Louis, because he had shocking road sense. And there were a couple of times when he was nearly completely cleaned up.
Yeah,
and
but
there was
that's
the one time when he was just about to go out and Pete gave me a big smack and he never did it again.
So how did you maintain order then without establishing that line?
So what's worse, screaming at them constantly? Is that worse than
because I
a
tried
quick
not to do
smack?
that as well. I tried to reason with them. And mostly they've grown into good kids, so I don't know whether I got it right or wrong. But
My
parents...
last smack was in year 12. Now that's an old kid
Who
to
was
be
that
getting
from?
his mum.
Right, okay.
I swore at her, so
Oh,
I
dear.
deserved it. I deserved it. Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Mum.
Moving on, and tennis is now in the middle of a sexism row this morning after Novak Djokovic suggested that male players should be paid more. Meantime, a tournament director declared women should, quote, go down on their knees every night, end quote, and thank God for the male players upon whose coattails they ride. Well, Serena Williams has hit back. Take a listen.
There's only one way to interpret that. Get on your knees, which is offensive as enough, and thank a man, which is not. We as women have come a long way.
So, Pete, are these blokes shockingly sexist, or is there an element of truth in men rating better than women when it comes to...
This tournament director, I'm of the opinion that even if you did hold that view, just keep it to yourself. You're never going to win that argument, I don't believe, because...
So it's okay to think it, just don't say it.
Well, just don't say it. I mean, you know, that could apply to anything. But, you know, he would have known surely that was going to stir the pot. Big time.
Well, he knew exactly what he was doing by choosing those words, go down on your knees. He knew what the implication was there.
Yeah.
But the truth is, again, Ben Fordham said this morning, that the women's tennis tournament the tickets sold more quickly than the men's. So I think the tide is turning, Shelley.
I don't agree. Because
they are.
I mean, the tide is turning in that popularity is there. We actually have equality in the tournament prize money, so that is actually equal. So I can understand Novak saying that it should be more on popularity. Now, if it is on popularity, then yes, Serena and players like that would get more money. I think, though, we need to make it more equal across the board. Why do women only play 3 sets? It's not like
I agree with you on
we
that.
can't possibly do 5 sets. Make it 5 sets. Have it more entertaining. Have a bit of endurance in there. I don't think that it's ever okay to say misogynistic things like that tournament director did, but I kind of understand where Novak's coming from. And when I was looking at, Serena said in that one case that the women outsold, that was in one case. That's not across the board. The men's competitions are more popular and you have more people watching, you have more advertising space. There's a value to that.
Don't you think that's just because that's what people are used to and women are changing things?
You know, well, you look at a Grand Slam, right? There's hardly an empty seat, regardless of whether you're watching the males, the men's or the females. You know, it's still as popular.
We
so
all stay
I
up
believe,
till 1 in the morning.
You know, yeah, I mean, I believe that, you know, that there should be a case for women to be paid more. You know, they've worked so hard to get to where they are now. Why not keep going?
Danger money. Now you're talking. Well done, Pete.
I try.
You just saved men the world over. Pete, Shelley, thanks a lot for that.